It was the worst act of political violence Minnesota had ever seen.
Today, the man behind those deadly attacks pleaded guilty. In federal court, Vance Boelter admitted to killing former Speaker of the House Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark. He also confessed to shooting State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette and trying to shoot their daughter Hope. As part of his plea, he won't face the death penalty, but he will never be a free man again. We begin our team coverage with Connor White and disturbing new details about the attack.
It's a haunting image. Vance Boelter in a hyper-realistic mask and uniform disguised as a police officer. He was standing at the door of Senator John Hoffman's house seconds before beginning a night of terror last June. 3 days shy of a year later, he appeared in an orange prison jumpsuit to plead guilty to shooting Senator Hoffman and his wife Yvette 17 times and to killing House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband, Mark.
It's a solemn but important day in Minnesota law enforcement.
Boelter's signature is now dry on a plea deal with federal prosecutors. This after he said last summer that he was looking forward to the facts coming out at trial. He's now agreeing to a recommendation of 2 back-to-back life sentences plus 40 years, taking the death penalty off the table.
To ensure that he never sees freedom again in his entire life, that was an opportunity that we just could not pass up.
Cameras aren't allowed inside federal court, but we were there to see Boelter calmly take questions from the judge admitting to what he did. Senator John Hoffman's eyes on him the entire time. Throughout this procedure, we learned that Boelter pressed a gun to Melissa Hortman's head and pulled the trigger. It was that news that brought anguished cries from the side of the courtroom where victims and family members sat. Boelter planned the murders months in advance, stalking both Melissa Hortman and John Hoffman before showing up at both of their homes claiming he was a cop investigating a shooting. In a statement, the Hoffman family said in part, "There is no justice for Mark and Melissa Hortman, and there is not justice when our family and our state will never truly heal."
I wonder if any of us who live law-abiding lives will ever really be able to understand that sort of motivation.
Clearly a difficult day, Connor. Did the United States Attorney say anything was specifically stopping them from pursuing the death penalty?
Nothing procedurally, Amelia. He said if they went to trial and went for the death penalty, he says he's confident they would have gotten it, but said the opportunity to secure these 2 consecutive life sentences was something they needed to seize on.
All right, Connor, thank you. That attack set off one of the largest manhunts in Minnesota history.
Law enforcement members involved in that search were at today's announcement, but they didn't take questions. However, some have spoken with our senior investigative reporter, Jennifer Merrily. So what have they told you, Jen?
Yeah, we have talked with some of these key players in that manhunt and looking back at those tense 43 hours and what was happening behind the scenes to capture the killer. It was one of the largest manhunts in state history, taking local, state, and federal agencies all coming together to make an arrest. Law enforcement from all over the state answered the call, and much of what was happening in the community was coordinated inside here, the State Emergency Operations Center.
One of the things that is also unique about this is that not only was it a horrible crime, tragic and traumatic for those families, and we always need to keep those families in mind as we talk about and we reflect on what happened, but also many of those in this room and many of those who were working on this knew Melissa Hortman. So there's a personal touch to all of this too.
Now, he says people worked around the clock until the suspect was in custody the next day. Now, the agencies involved commissioned an after-action report of the response. At 10, we'll share the status of that review, and we'll hear from the FBI and the ATF about their roles.
All right. Thank you, Jen.